I hated myself. So I was so beat down from just everything, and then becoming someone who I knew that was not the real me. And it was from years and years and years of anger and trauma and hurt and pain. And because of that, I was like, you know what? It's so worth it creating new things, even though I'm feeling like I'm detaching or losing these things from. Hey girlfriend, welcome to Her Redemption Story. If you've ever felt stuck, carrying weight you weren't meant to, or wondered if God could make something new out of your story, you're in the right place. I'm Morgan, a wife, a storyteller, and faith-led encourager walking this journey with you. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive into today's episode because your redemption story starts here. Welcome back, family, to Her Redemption Story. And if you're new here, I'm really, really glad that you're here. This space is gentle, it's honest, it's safe. Every episode, you can expect real life, real healing, scripture broken down simply, and super practical steps so that you can actually see change in your life and not just hear a feel good message. And just a reminder, there are free listener notes waiting for you in the description. And if you want other women to lean on while you heal, I also have a private Facebook group where we walk this out together. You are not meant to do this alone. You are so welcome there. Before we start, let's quickly do a recap and let's look back so everything flows together. Last episode, we talked about survival mode, how maybe you're not broken, maybe you were just surviving, people pleasing, shrinking, overthinking, losing yourself just to feel safe, and how God meets you with gentleness and not shame. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, definitely go back after this because today builds directly on it. Because once you realize you are surviving, the next question becomes, okay, now what? How do I actually rebuild my life? That's what we're diving into today. And stay until the end because I'm giving you really small, really doable steps, the kind I wish someone had handed me when I first started healing. Not just inspiration, but actual results. There was a season where I had already done a lot of healing. A lot of crying, a lot of praying, a lot of processing, but my life still didn't look different. I wasn't falling apart anymore, but I also wasn't becoming anything new. And I remember thinking, God, I feel better, but now what do I actually do? And this is the part that nobody really talks about. Healing is beautiful, but rebuilding, that's where your life actually changes. So lean in with me here, because this is when it's going to get really, really, really good. Because the difference changed everything for me. Healing and rebuilding are not the same thing. Please understand that. Healing removes what hurt you. Rebuilding creates who you're becoming. Healing is God cleaning the wound. Rebuilding is you learning how to walk differently. Healing is pulling out the splinters. Rebuilding is building new strength. Think of it like a house. If a storm tears through your home, cleaning up the damage is healing, but if you stop there, you're still standing in an empty space. Rebuilding is choosing new floors, painting new walls, and making it yours again. Healing stops the pain, but rebuilding creates the life. And God invites us into both. There's a verse that completely brought this to life for me. Romans 12:2 says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." If you've never read the Bible or don't really know God yet, let me explain that really simply. He's not saying become perfect overnight. He's not saying fix everything at once. He is saying renew, which literally means little by little, daily, gently, replace old thoughts with new ones. It's slow, it's relational. It's like God sitting next to you saying, I literally imagine him sitting next to me on my couch, sitting next to me in my bed, sitting next to me even in the floor on those really hard days. Not yelling, not rushing. He is walking with you. And you need to remember that because a lot of us who have grown up in a lot of chaos, we automatically think that God is standing over you, like in disappointment, and He's writing down every single thing you've done wrong and He's holding it over your head. Absolutely not. That is not who He is. He actually meets you with compassion and with love. And that's what made me want to know Him for myself, not through someone else, not just listening to sermons, but actually walking with Him, because He's that gentle. And I wanted to know that for myself and get to experience that for myself. And I am living proof that I never believed that. I literally did believe that He was standing over me, like waiting for me to mess up again. But that's not the truth. That was what the enemy was trying to plant into my mind. And that is also what my past tried to use against me, because that was what was familiar to me. So seeing God as my Father, oh my goodness, it transformed my entire relationship with Him, because before I didn't have a relationship, I had a religion. And that's not at all what this is. Christianity, and I claim to be a Christian and I walk around as a Christian. It's not that. And if that's you, I want to definitely hit on this and clarify something, because I used to think that same thing, and that used to be me. But actually, that is far from the truth. It's not religion, it's relationship. And it's your faith and your closeness and the depth of your bond with Him. And the more you literally just start simple and easy, when you're in those raw moments of questioning Him or your faith or your life, doubting, and you just say, God, I don't know how to feel about this situation, or God, I'm angry at you because XYZ. Lord, I don't really know you, but I want to know you, and I want to know what that means for myself. So please help me in that. And that's what it all starts with. It doesn't start with this big, long prayer that's all these fancy words. Absolutely not. I used to think the same thing, especially when I listened to people pray in my church that I grew up in, really little as a kid. It has nothing to do with what you're saying. It's your heart posture to Him. So let's go ahead and go into the practical steps. So step 1, decide who you want to become. For years, I only focused on who I didn't want to be, but one day God gently asked me, okay, but who do you want to be? And I didn't have an answer. So I wrote her down. Peaceful, grounded, close to God, sober, not angry, secure. And that moment was pivotal, because you can't walk towards something you've never named. Step 2, choose one tiny habit. So I used to try to change everything at once, and I failed every time. Please do not be me. Do not do everything at once. It's the little, small, consistent steps. So instead, I chose one tiny thing, 10 minutes with God in the morning, and that's just where it started. Coffee, journal, prayer. That small habit changed everything. It was not dramatic. It was consistent. And from then, it started to grow. And I just got even more aware. And I got even more to where I was just so hungry for Him, and maybe 5 minutes more, or a 5-minute sermon. Or now I'm actually looking up things on my phone, things like how to heal from your trauma biblically. And things like that is where it just begins. Step 3, change your environment. This next one is huge for me, and honestly, I didn't even realize how powerful it was at the time. I thought healing was just about trying harder, praying more, being stronger, using more willpower, but I kept falling back into these same cycles. And I remember feeling so frustrated, like, God, why am I not changing faster? I don't want to be this way anymore. And then one day I realized something really simple. Everywhere I looked, everything around me was still feeding the old version of me. the music I listened to, the shows I watched, my social media feed, conversations that I stayed in, environments and people that I hung out with. Everything was still the same. It all kept pulling me back into old thoughts and old emotions and old cycles and old patterns. So I did something that felt kind of extreme at the time. It literally felt like my life was really going through it. But I knew how negative it was, and I knew how much of an impact it was making on why my healing wasn't coming as fast as I wanted it to. So you can say it's extreme, but it absolutely was not. It was the greatest, best decision I ever made, and I have not looked back since. I cleared it all out. I unfollowed accounts that triggered me. I stopped watching things that made me feel heavy or ashamed or negative or brought up certain things. I deleted stuff that kept me stuck in the past, and I intentionally started filling all of my spaces with things that felt safe and life-giving. Sermons, oh my goodness, I can't tell you, when it comes to music, I really did not think I would ever be able to give up my secular music. Where is just worldly music, but because I was like, there's no Christian music that's not just worship songs, and I don't want to listen to worship songs. I like rap. I literally like every genre that there is except hardcore metal and old-fashioned country. I think is probably the two only things that I really don't like. Everything else I really do. And music was huge for me because I listen to music everywhere I went. I listen to it all the time in my headphones. I mean, it's everything. I'll post it on social media all the time. I mean, everything. So actually, there is a ton, especially now, because this is compared to 4 years ago for me. So now it's way more out there. But I love rap. I love anything with a really good beat. I love gospel. I love country. I love pop. I love hip hop. I love R&B. I love rock. I love a little bit of metal, but nothing hardcore like screamo. I even like the new age genres that they're coming out with now. Like one of my favorite, it's a little bit of mix rap, but it's called God Twang. Oh my goodness, I love it. It's so good. And that's why it's called God Twang, because it's so different of a genre that's probably the genre of what his would be called. Oh my goodness, I have so many. And when I first started this, I did not think that there was Christian music that was out there that was not just hallelujah. No, I didn't want to hear that while I was working and driving around and posting on social media. No, I wanted, some beats and some things to really get me hype and get me lit. And that was what I really needed. And I started searching, and oh my goodness, that has really changed everything for me. I started with just 1 week, and I was like, this whole week, I'm going to stop listening to my playlist, and I'm going to actually go search and find Christian music of these genres that I like. And I have now probably over 1,000, 2,000, maybe up to 2,500, 3,000 songs that I absolutely love. And I was planning to go back and just keep my worldly music after this week, but I played 1 or 2 songs from my old playlist after that week. And I literally was like, oh my goodness, I can't even believe that I've been listening to this my whole life. Because even if it's stuff that's not cussing and everything, they all got a story to it, okay? Not all of them are horrible, but it's not life-giving. It's not really benefiting me if I'm like overthinking about things or anything like that. So, or thinking about like relationships and meeting up with this guy. Like all the songs that are worldly really are very much the same in all different ways for all the different genres. So to have Christian music is absolutely pivotal for your healing journey, because it really is pouring into your mind and what you're feeding on. And then it takes a toll on your heart, and then what your heart is trying to tell you, you end up saying all of those things out loud. And I know y'all probably thinking, girl, you are crazy. And I thought the same thing, and I thought I could not do it. I couldn't survive without my music. But it was literally one of the best things that ever happened to me. And I would be so dead wrong if I didn't share that with y'all, because it is everything. I mean, I can't even express how much it started to really change my perspective and my view of how I even carried myself. Like, I was flaunting my body around, and certain music makes you want to act a certain way. Certain things that you're following, your feed that you're looking at, it makes you want to fight. It makes you want to cry and be depressed and sit in the dark and not do anything or go anywhere because you're seeing all this depressing stuff. And it all is feeding your mind and your heart, whether you like it or not. I started following a lot of healing content, and not just Christian, but I really, really wanted to focus on my relationship with God. I was really beat down and I was lost, and I knew the person that I had become, I couldn't look in the mirror at myself and enjoy who I saw. I hated looking in the mirror. I hated myself. So I was so beat down from just everything, and then becoming someone who I knew that was not the real me. And it was from years and years and years of anger and trauma and hurt and pain. And because of that, I was like, you know what? It's so worth it creating new things, even though I'm feeling like I'm detaching or losing these things from taking it off of my social media, or completely, I deleted mine. And it did not hurt me as much as I thought it was going to hurt me. Not after I started seeing the change and the fruit of real long lasting freedom. Like, I was literally healing within a matter of, like I said, that first week that I changed my music, by that 8th day, I was trying to go back to the old habits and things, and I couldn't. Like, I was starting to see myself differently. I was starting to see life like, oh my goodness, I'm finally healing. Like, it's finally happening. And I also intentionally started filling my space with women who love God, with people who loved God, environments where I felt like I was a part of the family. I'd never had that before. Mine was all about drama and chaos and rah-rah, and it was just absolutely not it. And I can't even explain how much faster that I started changing after that. Not because I tried harder, but because I stopped fighting my environment. It was like I finally gave my heart room to breathe. And that's when I learned something that I'll never forget. Environment shapes you more than willpower ever will. Because trust me, I used every bit of willpower that I possibly had in my entire being, and it was not enough. It was not enough. So if you feel stuck, it might not be that you're weak. It might just be that your environment hasn't changed yet. And changing that's not weakness, that's wisdom. Step number 4, walk with God daily, not dramatic moments, just daily closeness. So just like we talked about before, it's simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn out thing. And another thing that I think a lot of us do is we see these people on YouTube and stuff like that, and we start comparing ourselves in our walk and our relationship with God and how our routines should be. And you're not there. Everyone's walk is different. So if you're showing up and you say, God, walk with me today, that's where real change happens. That is good. It's perfect. God is meeting you wherever you are with whatever you have to give him. He is there. So we're going to do a quick little recap. So let's slow this down. If your brain feels full, let me bring it back simple. Today wasn't about fixing yourself. It was about rebuilding your life with God. Slowly, one step at a time. So, decide who you're becoming. Choose one small habit. Shape your environment. Walk with God daily, no matter how you show up. That's it. There's nothing overwhelming, just faithful steps. It's consistency that matters. Friend, I'm really, 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 really proud of you for even listening to something like this. It takes courage. If this episode helped you, send it to a friend who needs it too. And if you haven't listened to the previous episodes yet, I highly encourage you to go back. They all flow together and each one builds on the last. I'm cheering for you. I'm celebrating you. And I am so excited for the woman that you're becoming. This is for you and your heart and your healing, not perfection or performance, because this is between you and God. I'll meet you in the next episode, family. Love you. Hey girlfriend, I hope you loved today's episode. If it encouraged you, share it with a friend who might need a reminder that God's not done with their story, and leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up knowing that this show is helping you. I'll see you back every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central for another episode. So bye for now. Go live your redemption story.